Hell nah, I ain't sleep today, but I'ma be okay. Miss my family on the east, but fuck it, I can't.
What is up, YouTube? Zuki M1 here, and I am back with a brand new YouTube video. Today I'm bringing you guys my top 5 anticipated games from Paris Week. Now, the Paris Game Show was just today, and I need to go about trying to pick which ones that I feel was going to be my most anticipated games. There were a couple of disappointments. There was a couple of games that you would expect, but I'm looking more towards the games that we have not seen yet. So without further ado, let's get on to the list. So for number 5, we have Concrete Genie. This game was one of the new games that they had recently just introduced at the Paris Week Game Show, and I think it was one of the first games that they had previewed when they were showing us the new showcase of all the new games that were coming out. I will not lie to you guys, when I first saw this, I instantly fell in love with it, mainly due to the art style. I really do enjoy the overall look of the game. It looks absolutely like something straight out of like a something that feels like cartoony-ish, but in a next gen console type of feel. It just feels and look really good. It reminds me of watching an old cartoon segment, and I have to say I am very impressed with this. The gameplay looks really interesting. I do enjoy the overall gameplay of everything so far. It's showing you like the artist being able to create brand new environments, creatures that didn't exist before, and a lot of different things that I haven't seen yet, like ever, which is something to be said because there aren't too many games that feel fresh and original. And to see this game come out of Paris Game Week, I definitely have to say that this was something I was looking forward to. I am kind of interested in the story as well, in terms of like who are these kids that harass the child throughout this trailer and things like that, and what type of adventures and journey will you be going on throughout this game. Like, what is this game foretell for you? So this is why this game made it on to my number 5 spot for Paris Game Week. Moving right along through the list, we get to a new game for the VR. Now, I have a really strong bias towards the VR gameplay and the VR experience per se. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of like VR or motion controls, things of that nature. I'm more of a classic gamer, so I prefer to be able to just sit down and have a controller in my hand and be able to play. That being said, this is probably one of the most fun looking VR games I have seen come out of Paris Week. Now, again, I had no idea that this game was going to be previewed. This is one of the newer games that they had showed for the first time at the Paris Games Week, and I have to say it looks absolutely balls to the wall type of fun. The last time I've seen gameplay that feels like this was in Red Steel, but Red Steel was hideous. It was a game that came out way back when on the Nintendo Wii, back in its earlier days, and I had a lot of fun playing that, but the controls were terrible, the AI was dumb, and it just didn't move fluently or smooth. But this, from what I've seen in the trailer, looks like it's going to be so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to being able to play this. So that's why this game makes it on my list for number 4 for top 5 games of Paris Week. So for the number 3 spot, we have a brand new game called Onrush. Now, this one caught me by surprise. Again, this was a brand new one that I hadn't seen. Now, this isn't anything revolutionary or game breaking or anything that I haven't seen before, but I can honestly say I haven't touched a racing game in a very long time. The very last racing game that I probably touched was either Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport, and I'm not really the biggest fan of like realistic style driving. It's kind of really boring, which is why I honestly feel like those don't really stick around too much. But this one looks and feel cartoony. It looks like a lot of fun, and I haven't had a really fun racing car experience in a long time, and I honestly feel like this is going to be a really great experience. So that's why Onrush is number 3 on my top 5 list. So for number 2, we have a game that was shown at E3, and we ended up getting a brand new trailer for it. This is Monster Hunter's World, and I have to say I've never played any of the Monster Hunters games ever. Now, that being said, I know that it's supposed to feel like anime. It's supposed to give you a real hunter in a fantasy world where you go against creatures that are larger than life and monsters that you can't utterly believe. And normally this would be right up my alley. The problem is that I didn't really like the lock-on system in this game, because I did try it before, and when I tried it I didn't really like the lock-on system. It kind of felt free-formed, and I wanted to be able to focus down one target, especially if that target was the one beating me up. But you know, looking at the gameplay again and looking at the dynamic of how this game is looking, and I have to say this game looks absolutely gorgeous, by the way, and the world looks amazing. I am so ready to explore something like this, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on something that just has this much just that much to explore. The customization looks absolutely amazing, and I'm just really looking forward to being able to touch this game. Along with that, they had introduced a brand new thing that really, I won't lie to you guys, this probably was the thing that sold me on this. They introduced a new character to be able to be playable in this game, which is Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, some of you guys might not know, I had started playing Horizon Zero Dawn on my Twitch channel a long time ago, and I was a really big fan of this game. I absolutely loved it. I put in over 75 to 80 hours on that game. And so when they introduced her into this game to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, I was hyped. So yes, this is definitely on my number 2 list for games that I need to pick up from Paris Game Week. Now, we are finally here, guys. We are at the number 1 spot, and the game that is the number 1 hyped game for me coming out of Paris Games Week has to be Ghost of Tsukimori. Now, the Ghost of Tsukimori is a new IP that is coming straight out of Sucker Punch. The last time we heard anything from Sucker Punch, if I'm not mistaken, was Infamous. I could be wrong, but that's the last time I remember playing a Sucker Punch game. So everybody was just waiting to hear any type of new things coming from Sucker Punch. I mean, they created some of the best games that we could get our hands on, and it's just, we've been waiting for a long time for a game to come from them, and they did not disappoint with this game. It looks absolutely stunning. It is told in the feudal era of Japan, and it looks as if it is a samurai seeking revenge for the death of his clan or his people. We're not exactly sure. They didn't really give us too much on the story per se. They just gave us a lot of scenery and a couple of dialogues between him and someone who apparently was one of the invaders who slaughtered his homeland and people. So this is definitely going to be something that I'm interested in. I am a huge sucker for samurais. Besides samurais, I really do like to see stories of redemptions or a story of vengeance. Now, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of revenge stories, but I honestly feel like when it comes to, it depends on how it's told. If it's a story of vengeance for the right purpose, I feel like that's a good story. And I believe that is it. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. But this is ZukiM1, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
It doesn't make strong.